And boom. All right. So for complementary angles, okay, what do you think complementary angles are? You can unmute yourself, you can type it in chat, but who remembers what a complementary angle is?
Angles that add up to 180 degrees.
All right. So that's supplementary. Supplementary is the one that adds up to 180. Complementary is the one that adds up to 90. So two angles that add up are supplement, or two angles that add up to 180 are supplementary. Two angles that add up to 90 are complementary. Okay. So look at some examples for like question 2 right here. All right. If one angle's 40 and they both have to add up to 90, what's the second one going to be? And
50.
you can
50.
50. Good. Okay. Because these two add up to 90, that's what makes them complementary. Now, there's going to be some times where you're going to have to solve for x. Okay. In this instance, if you have to do that, you're going to set them both to 90, and then you're just going to add them to one another. Okay. And sometimes what I like to do, you don't have to do it if you don't prefer, but sometimes what I like to do to make it easier to see is I'll put parentheses around each group. So that way I know, okay, this is one angle and this is one angle. Now, what is one of the strategies that I mentioned that you could do to get everything put together or combined like terms? I know it's been a couple weeks. All right. Does anyone remember me using shapes and putting it around the similar pieces? Okay. So I know that the two triangles will go together and the two circles will go together. So if I add the two triangles together, all right, 5x plus x, they equal what? Ryan, you were here. So 5x plus x, all right, you don't add the variables, that stays the same. You just add the numbers in front. So 5 plus 1 is 6. Good. Now we're going to combine the circles. 25 plus 5 is, good Javier, is 30. Now what's our next step? Now that we have everything shortened and simplified, and we got it set for 6x plus 30 equals 90, what are we going to do next? You can unmute yourself. You can put it in chat. 30 over 6. What do you mean by 30 over, divided? So we're not going to divide quite yet, Javier. All right, here's why. We have to get this 30 over here first. Then we've got to deal with 6x. We've got to solve for x first. All right, so if we're going to solve for x first, what's the first thing we're going to move if we're solving for x? If we are trying to get him by himself, All right, Javier says 90 minus 30. Good. All right, so what Javier's saying is we're going to subtract both sides by 30. Those cancel. 90 minus 30 is what? 60. All right. And now, what's this 6 doing to the x? What are they doing to one another? Times. Good, Ryan. All right, they are multiplying one another. Anytime you have a number next to a variable, it's also multiplying one another. So if they're multiplying one another, and we've got to move the 6, what's the inverse or the opposite of multiplying? And Javier already said it. We're going to divide. And the questions is solving for x. All right. So we don't have to re-plug it back in. We just solve for x. Okay. Any questions, comments, concerns? So anytime you get a complementary angle and it says solve for x, remember to set it equal to 90 and it's solve for x. If it does not say solve for x, but it says find the missing angle, all right, you're just going to figure out, okay, if it's 40 degrees, 40 plus what equals 90? 50. Good.
That was my grandmother. I'm sorry, y'all.
That's all right.
I'm 63 years old. I'm sorry, I shut up.
All right. So that's complementary angles. Okay. When it comes to supplementary, we've already discussed that it equals 180. So just like complementary angles, all right, both of, or similar, not just like, but similar to complementary angles, if it's supplementary, both angles are going to add up to what? $180. Okay. And then some of the problems, okay, so if it's asking, and I tried to organize this where it was all complementary at the top, all supplementary at the bottom, all right. So if it was asking find the missing angle, and it says this is 62, what are you going to do to figure out what the missing angle is? If these two are supplementary, 62 and x, what are we going to do to find this one right here? 180 minus 62. Good, Javier. What if there was an x and it says find the value of x? What are we going to do? Okay, well, let me do this. When we are solving for x for complementary angles, we set it equal to what? 90. So if we're solving for x for supplementary angles, we're going to set it equal to what?
90.
Not 90. Supplementary. Supple.
60. Oh.
180.
Yeah, 180.
Okay. So for example, 25 right here. 123 plus 3x equals 180. But I'm going to reverse it because I like having the variable first. So 3x plus 123 equals 180. Because 123 plus 3x are supplementary, we're going to add them together and then set it equal to 180. What's the first thing we're going to do? If we are solving for x, we need to get x by himself. What is the first thing we are going to do if we're solving for x? Okay, let me ask this. Are we going to mess with 3x first, or are we going to mess with 123 first?
Oh, guys, you know this. I know it.
They do. I'm giving them a split second to think about it. All right, let me ask this. If we are trying to get x all the way down here by itself, all right, but the first thing we've got to do is either divide 3 or subtract 123. What do you think we're going to do first? Are we going to subtract or divide first? All right, Javier says divide 123. All right, Javier, why do you think we're going to divide 123? Wait, I mean subtract. Good catch, Javier. So what Javier is saying, all right, to get x by itself, the first thing we're going to do is we are going to subtract 123 from both sides. All right, the reason we do this is the way I like to visualize an equal sign. This is just me. This is, my opinion. You don't have to follow suit. This just helps me visualize everything. All right, because I'm a big picture type of guy. All right, is you have a wall. The equal sign's a big wall. Whatever you do to this side, you have to do to this side. All right, it's like in science. All right, there's a law in science stating for every action there's an opposite and equal reaction. Okay, so here's our action. Okay, here's our action plus 123. The opposite is subtract, like cause and effect. Good, Ryan. So this is our action. This is the opposite. This is the equal. And what we do to one side, we have to do to the other. We can't simply just get rid of it. Otherwise, it messes up the entire problem. So those cancel. 180 minus 123. What is it?
$57.
57. Thank you. Okay. Good. All right. Now, what's the next thing we're going to do? So we have 3 times x equals 57. What are we going to move the 3?
Divide by 3.
Divide by 3. Thank you, Carter. Thank you, Javier. So we're going to divide both sides by 3. Those 3's cancel, leaving just 1. We just don't write the 1. We just leave x by itself. 57 divided by 3 equals
19.
19. All right. And the problem simply just asks, find the value of x. We're not solving for either angle. We are just solving for x. So that is our answer. X equals 19. Okay. Any questions? Comments? Carter, you look like you just woke up.
Nah, I went to bed super early, woke up at 4 o'clock, then woke up 5 hours later.
Woohoo! All right. Any questions? Comments? No comments, no concerns. Ryan, that's okay. It's all right. And Ryan makes a good point. So if you guys have doctor's appointments, all right, that happens. Sign in when you can. If you're late, that's all right. I'm just happy to see everyone with how crazy life has been. All right. It's been fantastic. They go from a couple last, let's see, Wednesday? Yeah. Started at 2 Wednesday, then we had 3 or 4 Thursday. We had a few more on Friday, then go from that to what? 8, 7, 8 today. Just keep working, all right? Try to get your other classmates in here. If we can get all 17 of you, we'll move on to something new. All right? It's good to go over review stuff, but I'd also like to move on to some other stuff as well. Because sometimes going over the same thing repetitive can get a little boring. All right.
Tell
So
your classmates, guys.
tell your classmates, be like, hey, mystery is coming on at 2:10. All right. We're doing quizzes a lot more. All right. Javier is going to try to get Jassim and Madison, the other Madison. All right. Javier, good work, buddy. All right. Try to get your classmates. I want to get all 17 of you in here. All right. Okay. So have a good day, everybody. Make good choices. Be careful. Be safe. All right.
Mr.
Stay healthy. Stay healthy. And I'll see everyone tomorrow.
I beat Mr. Bitterbrooks.
Bye,
Bye.
everybody.
You what? You beat me?
Madison, thank
Yeah.
you.
Bye, guys.
You, Marion.
Bye, Javier. Bye, Ryan.
Well, it wouldn't be the
Carter.
first time.
Later.